and such an amazing day. Today today should be the second day of August 2021. Oh, sorry. Today it's the third day. Sorry, the third day of August 2021. And I just want to quickly address the question on our channel this evening. So please, if you have a few minutes, just quickly hang around and I'm going to start and I will make it very simple. So we are actually looking at the possibility of a lady in her 60s being able to conceive, and not just conceiving, carrying her baby up to term and becoming a mother. So that's actually the question. And this same lady is already confirmed to be menopausal. So menopause means you've already exhausted the eggs that God ordinarily gave you to start your family. So the question is, how possible is it for this lady at age 60 and menopausal to achieve pregnancy, both naturally or with the help of assisted reproductive technique? Now, I'm going to make very categorical, evidence-based statements. The answer is yes, it's possible for a woman who has attained menopause to still conceive and become pregnant. Under one caveat: if it's confirmed she's gone into menopause, first of all, for you to go into menopause, we have a couple of clinical criteria that must be met. Number one on the list, if you haven't bled for 12 consecutive months, so if you haven't had your menstrual bleeding for 12 consecutive months, that's number one criteria for confirming menopause. Number two, there are a couple of other hormones we have to check. If we check your follicular stimulating hormone, which is a very important hormone, which stimulates the ovaries to release the eggs. If your follicular stimulating hormone is also high, as against being normal, then it's also an indication you might have gone into what? Menopause. Now, correspondingly, if you check the level of estrogen, which is another important marker, which ordinarily is the hormone that makes you to actually have this feminine touch, have moist vagina and feel like a woman. You don't have dryness. You don't have hot flushes. So when we check and your FSH, it's very high, and your estrogen, it's low, it's also an indication. Ordinarily, your estrogen has a love-hate relationship with FSH. Your FSH is supposed to be within the normal range so that it will stimulate the ovaries to give out the eggs, which is what happens in ovulation. Now, so if we check and you've gone into menopause, that's on its own a no-no. Naturally, you cannot become pregnant without having eggs. The criteria to become pregnant naturally is to have eggs, which the sperm can fertilize. But the good news, according to the current standards, the criteria a woman needs to become pregnant is just the womb, regardless of your age. So this woman at age 60 can become pregnant, but through only one means, through the help of donor eggs. So she can become pregnant with the help of donor eggs. Now, besides becoming pregnant with donor eggs, there are a couple of things we need to be conversant with. Because all those hormones, which ordinarily should be within a particular range to help the body to achieve pregnancy, because those hormones are no longer at the level we want it, this woman at 62 or 60 or whatever is going to be subjected to a lot of hormonal treatment. So we are going to give her a combination of estrogen and progesterone. What would the combination of estrogen and progesterone do? They will go to the womb and they will kind of mimic a younger woman. So they will prime, they will develop, they will prepare the womb as if the womb is still in the reproductive phase. So we're going to give this woman a lot of injections, a lot of estrogen, a lot of progesterone to prepare her as if she is still young, but it's artificially mediated. So for this lady to be able to achieve pregnancy, number one criteria that will be met is what? We are going to look for a younger lady. Most times, if we're going for donor eggs, we are using younger ladies because the younger you are, the more the viability of your eggs, the more you have more good quality eggs. So we're going to look for a younger lady. When we get a younger lady, we're going to collect good eggs. Then we're going to start preparing the woman. So the only means for her to become pregnant is donor eggs and IVF. So when we get that donor eggs and we are sure that the eggs is good quality, we are going to prepare the woman as if she's going for IVF. Another criteria, if the woman's partner still has good sperm, we can use the partner's sperm. Remember, the criteria that makes a sperm quality is what? The count, the motility, and the morphology. So if the sperm of the partner, it's okay, by the parameter we will check, then we can use it. If the partner's sperm, it's not of good quality, we can do a combination of donor egg and donor sperm. And we can succeed in achieving pregnancy in a 60-year-old lady. Now, we've had a couple of success stories in achieving pregnancy in a 60-year-old and above lady. But here's the deal. There are so many complications that come up when you are elderly in regards to becoming pregnant. So you actually begin to be confirmed and be classified as elderly from 35. So there are so many complications you are prone to having. Miscarriage is top on the list. Diabetes, hypertension, emergency like preeclampsia, preterm birth, low birth weight, stillbirth, difficulties in delivery, chromosomal problems. So these are the things you should be conversant with if you are planning to become pregnant at that age. Now, the body of a woman at 60 is definitely depleted. So from researchers, because it's very few, most women in their age 60, it's possible they might have one medical condition or the other. So they can have hypertension or diabetes, which can affect their health. So the health of a lady would determine if she's gonna even go in the first place. The possibility that a lady in her 60s might have a lot of what we call morbidity, that means so many disease conditions in her body, is very high. So if this lady has some medical issues which have not been addressed, she might not be a candidate to go for this route. You can only be qualified to go for donor egg, donor sperm, IVF to succeed in becoming pregnant in your 60 if we check and we are okay that we can mitigate and manage the complications. Now, the complications that can come from becoming pregnant very late, thank God for the technologies we have now. We can manage majority of them. But you have to understand that the older you are when you get pregnant, the more the complications you're gonna get. So it's important you use the best in your location. So if you're in your 60s, late 50s, or thereabout, it's not yet over. You can still become a mother. You can still even carry your own baby. But we need to be very, very careful. You need to be under the care of a high-risk pregnancy specialist and an experienced fertility specialist. Because from day one, you become pregnant, we have to monitor you and definitely deliver you when we feel that the baby and yourself will be okay. So it's a very delicate situation. But the answer is yes. At age 60, you can become pregnant with the help of assisted reproductive technique. Top on the list is what? IVF. Your ability to become pregnant naturally is completely, almost 100% non-existent. Why? Because you have fully exhausted all your eggs. If it's confirmed you've gone into menopause, you will no longer have any eggs to use in participating in the process of pregnancy to start with. So these are the few things you should be conversant with. But yes, it's possible to be pregnant to achieve pregnancy with the help of a very experienced fertility specialist at age 60. Then we monitor you and we make sure that things will go okay. Matter of fact, a few years ago, I had a collaborating partner in Nigeria who actually succeeded in delivering a 62-year-old lady. So it's even happening in Africa. But what we need to do is to be conversant with precautionary measures, things we must check, the boxes we must be sure that they are in right place before we proceed. You see, it's one thing to be pregnant. It's another thing to make sure that that pregnancy is okay. So in our group, in Snowspirations Global Health Solutions, we don't just want you to be pregnant. We want you to be pregnant, then we want you to have smooth experience in your pregnancy and deliver your baby. So by default, a woman at age 60 is already high risk. So we're going to do a lot of things differently in your own situation to make sure you have good outcome. Pregnancy is not termed successful until we have delivered the placenta. So we need to deliver the baby, we deliver the placenta, we make sure you're good, we make sure your baby is good. It's only then that we can say for sure that pregnancy ended successfully. These are very important facts. We have to know, we have to equip ourselves with this knowledge so we can make informed decisions. Now, there are a couple of other ways you can also have a baby if you're in your 60s. And it's always good to be careful. You go the easier and safer route. You can simply go and adopt. Though, if I were you, I would have adopted earlier. Adopting a baby at 60 is going to put a lot of strain on you because it takes a lot to raise kids. So by adoption, it's a very good route for you. Now, depending on the availability of services, you can also go for surrogacy. But in going for surrogacy, you have to understand that it has to be donor eggs because you no longer have eggs. So you can get donor eggs, you can use your partner's sperm, then we can look for a third party to help you guys carry your baby. Then in some places, you can also foster. So you actually have 3 opportunities and 3 different processes of becoming a mother in age 60. Top on the list, and my first recommended means, it's adoption. But if you have good facilities, if you have a very good experienced fertility specialist, and after checking you, he feels you're good to go, then you can go and try donor egg IVF or donor egg surrogacy. Now, fortunately, with the technology we have now, in America in 2019, a mother carried her kids' baby for them. So the mother became the gestational surrogate. There are 2 types of surrogacy, gestational surrogacy and traditional surrogacy. So this lady, what happened? For some reasons, the son and the partner could not have their own kids. For some reason, medical reason, because the reason why a woman might not be able to have a baby might be medical reasons. So there are some women, unfortunately, the way the womb is structured or so many things might not enable them to carry their babies. The fact you can't carry your babies doesn't mean you can't be a mother. You can still be a mother through surrogacy. So for this lady, what happened? She volunteered herself to use her own womb. I think she was 62. To carry her own son's baby. So this is exactly what they did. They challenged the womb. They gave her a lot of hormonal drugs. They made sure she's okay. Then they now use donor eggs. I think the eggs from the son's wife and the son's sperm, they now transfer the embryo to her. And it was successful. So she carried her own grandkids. Do you understand that? You see, medical facilities and medical trends and discoveries are making life a lot easier. Things we never even thought would happen, it's happening. She was able to carry her own grandchild and actually birthed her own grandchild. So thank God for modern technology. Thank God for fertility specialists. Thank God for knowledge. The reason why I actually brought my time to explain this particular topic is because there are so many people in our community who might think it's all over, who might think age is not on their side, who might have given up. Now, let me tell you the truth. So long as you are living, you don't own your life. You don't give up. You can still become a mother. You can still become a father. What you need is the right knowledge. What you need is the right attitude. What you need is the right perception and the right practices. Then a connection to a caring provider, and you can become. So long as you want to be a mother, you can become a mother. The first thing you need to be a mother is a heart full with love. Then a choice, determination, and you can be a mother. So you can be a mother naturally through normal vaginal delivery, or you can go for assisted reproductive technique, or you can go for fertility treatment, or you can adopt, or you can go for donor eggs, or you can go for donor sperm, or surrogacy. They are all avenues of becoming a mother. There is absolutely nothing wrong in it. But what I will not subscribe to my group is to do nothing and expect something. So if in 2021, by August 3rd, 2021, and you are not doing the right things, I will encourage you to please leverage on the opportunities you have now. We show up every day. I bring out my time during my break to spend 30 minutes with us to make sure we have enough knowledge, and I can help you. Okay? So make sure you are determined and do your own part so that God will do his own part. If you notice, I love my PPP. PPP works. The first part of the P is praying. I pray a lot. I believe in God. I know that God is the reason why I'm showing up, every single day. Then when you have said your prayer, you have to play. Play means regular intercourse with your partner, 48 hourly apart. Then the last P is practice. Practice means everything I teach you, you practice it. So when you're making love, when you're praying and you're not getting results, you begin to seek help from a fertility specialist. This is how you can become a mother in 2022. So thank you so much. I don't know if we have any question. If we do have any question, please feel free to ask your questions and I can answer your questions. It looks like I don't have any question, but please, if you need any help, we can help you in our group. So you can follow up with the admin. Admin can set you up. They can set you up to consult with me directly, and we can see what we can do for you. I believe that we are all mothers. We are all fathers. It's just a question of time. It's just temporal challenge. So don't allow your temporal challenge become a permanent situation. Don't allow something that will pass by become your permanent situation. Refuse to go down alone. Refuse to allow 2022 to pass you by. I want you to be a mother. Refuse to allow 2021 to pass you by. I want you to be a mother by 2022. It takes 9 months to deliver your baby. If you do well, you can become pregnant in August, and you can start counting down from September, and in first quarter of next year, you'll be a mother, you'll be a father. Regardless of how long you've been looking for a baby, you can suddenly succeed. The beautiful thing about women becoming pregnant late is the fact that they have a higher chance of having multiple pregnancy. So a woman might have been having infertility for 20 years. Then she can go for her first IVF, and she can have triplets, she can have quadruplets, she can have twins. So you have a better chance of having twins, of having triplets, of having quadruplets when you are older than 35. Isn't God amazing? So please find out what your own problem is. You see, when we know what the problem is, we have solved that problem by 50%. One of the major areas I concentrate on in my group is infertility. And remember that infertility is not just a woman thing. Infertility can also come from the man. Infertility can be primary. Infertility can be secondary. When it's primary, it means that in your lifetime, you have never tested positive for pregnancy. And it can happen to the man, it can happen to the woman. So for the man, your girlfriend or whoever never told you that, they became pregnant. Then for the lady, you have never become pregnant in your own entire life. That's primary infertility. So it can be primary male infertility or primary female infertility. Now, in secondary infertility, in the past, you got pregnant. Couple of things. You had your baby, you aborted your baby, or your baby had miscarriage or stillbirth. but currently you're trying to become pregnant and it's not happening. If you happen to find yourself in this situation, you have secondary infertility. So thank you so much for coming this afternoon. I appreciate you. Stay tuned for more important topics subsequently. Please make it a point of duty to subscribe, set your notifications, share this video, and tell people about the good news we are achieving in our group. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you, and until I see you again, bye-bye for now.